Test, test, test.
I've never talked to an astronaut or anyone famous, as a matter of fact.
I think it would be really interesting to be an astronaut, but I don't know if I'd want to venture out into space. There's always a risk that something bad could happen.
I think it would be absolutely amazing to go into space, and I really want to do it.
In some ways it would be really exciting, but I think it would be really lonely too.
I would like to, but I went to the Kennedy Space Station, and I am too tall to be cost-effective to be an astronaut.
All right, let's call Frank.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Is it Frank?
It's me.
Oh, hi, Frank. It's Nicole Mitchell with the Flagship program. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
We have 5 Flagship kids here that are hoping to ask you some questions.
Fine and dandy.
Hello, is this Commander Borman?
Yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for doing this call. I was wondering, should you always follow protocol? The Earthrise photo was taken against the photo schedule, and I know it was definitely worth it, and you wouldn't take it back. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, there was certainly a list of photographs, but it would certainly be, I think, rather stupid not to take a picture of the Earth rising. And we weren't held to a rigid schedule on things. That's why we were there as human beings, to use our mind and use our judgment. We stuck to the flight plan when it made sense. When it didn't make sense, we didn't. That was as simple as that.
Hello, this is Andrew Isabel.
Hello.
How do you feel about the fact that we might be able to explore other planets and things like that? Like, for example, Mars.
Well, I think it's important for us always to be advancing and exploring. I think it's going to be a long time coming before human beings are on other planets. I think the costs are enormous, and the Apollo program was funded adequately because it was a battle in the Cold War. It had the support of the people. But when you start to talk about even much more resources being devoted to exploring the Mars, especially when there are unmanned options to do it too. I think the controlling element will probably be cost, and that will have to play out on what's going on in the country and in the world at that time.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Borman. I'm Maxwell Shaver, a student at Hellgate High School, and I was wondering, what is the emotional and psychological impact of knowing that you are drifting through space and one of the first to go around the moon?
Looking back at the Earth was the most emotional part of the whole flight. As we prepared the flight plan, we hadn't even given any allocation of photography for the looking back at the Earth. We were supposed to take all the pictures of the moon, but the Earthrise, Bill Anders captured. I think that was the high point from an emotional standpoint of the whole flight.
Hi, Commander Borman?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Sky Welch. I'm a 7th grader at Meadow Hill. And I was wondering, what did it feel like in your body when you left the atmosphere?
The effect on the body is really more pronounced at liftoff when you're getting G's from the acceleration of the rocket, and then again at re-entry when you're getting G's from the deceleration of the atmosphere on the spacecraft. So we were well trained and adequately prepared for that type of experience.
How did you prepare yourself, and how did you train yourself to be able to handle that?
You just did your job. There wasn't a case in our program where there was a lot of let's try again. But if you couldn't do your job, we got rid of you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, it's such an honor to talk to you, Commander Borman. I am Colton Quirk. I am a sophomore at Hellgate High School, and my question was, with the increase of private space companies such as SpaceX and Boeing, what are your opinions on the commercialization of space?
Well, I think that they're going the right way. I believe that the commercialization of space is best handled by private companies, and certainly the safety aspects of it will have to be controlled by the government. But
Hello, Commander. This is Sylvie again. I was wondering, how is the advancement of technology today?
Technology has advanced enormously since the Apollo program. The Apple phone that I'm talking to you on now has more computing capability than all of the mainframe computers. We had big IBM 360 mainframe computers in use, and it took up a whole floor of air-conditioned big building. And all of that now is not as great as the computing capability I have in this iPhone. So who knows where it'll be happening in the next 50 years? You will know, but I won't. I'll be long gone by then. There's no reason to expect that somehow it will come to a halt, although I'm not certain that it'll continue at the rate at which it's going now.
Hello, Commander Borman. What would be your advice for someone who is trying to get into the aerospace or aeronautical field?
Well, my advice to any young person that is to do your best whatever you do. Don't take shortcuts and maintain your integrity. I don't know of any other advice. If you have an instinct that you're desperately trying to achieve a goal, you got to work hard and prepare yourself. It's whether you want to be a astronaut or a doctor or a engineer, whatever. And you got to be prepared for hard work and then go after it.
Hello, Mr. Borman. I was wondering, how do you look back upon your mission?
I'm very proud of the country and I'm proud of NASA because when you stop to think of the time frame and what they did, it was a remarkable achievement. There were 400,000 Americans that did their job to make Apollo successful. And it was also a case where failure was just not an option. And if you made a mistake that was serious enough, you were gone. It was as simple as that. And I'm very, very proud of the country and proud of the 400,000 Americans that made it happen.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you for being enthusiastic and for doing everything right on time. I appreciate it.
That was kind of one of my questions is, like being a commander and an astronaut, does time play a big factor in your life?
It plays a big factor in everyone's life. And I, right now, at age 90, and with a very bad back, I'm quite aware of my limit. Time is
sorry.
No, well, I'm old, Nicole. I'm old.
I know. Again, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I know. Awesome.
Yeah.
I got some great pictures. Cool.